Hey there guys, what is going on? Today in our latest Best Guns in Modern Warfare video, we're taking a look at the second DLC weapon added in Season 1, the Ram 7. And boy is it a beastly weapon. This gun is quite obviously modelled after the MTAR from previous games, and it stays fairly true to that. Good damage with moderate recoil. But would you believe me if I told you this? Theoretically, this gun has a faster time to kill than the M4A1. That does sound interesting, right? The Ram 7 unlocks at Battle Pass rank about 30-ish, I think it is, 30, 31 maybe. So it'll take a fair chunk of playing. If you did need some help getting those Battle Pass levels up faster, make sure you check out the video in the top right corner and then come back to this one. This gun is an absolute beast at those close range engagements and is almost like an assault rifle SMG hybrid, pretty similar to the Peacekeeper, I think if that was in Black Ops 2. The Ram 7 feels great because of its fire rate, which I believe is the second highest behind the M13, sitting at around, I think it's about 860 to 880 rounds per minute from memory. I'm going to give you what I think is the best class loadout for the Ram 7, which is suitable for pretty much everything the game has to offer. You can put in serious work on Shoot House 24/7 because of the high fire rate, and you can also rack up those kills in ground war when you're fighting at those medium to longer ranges. But before we jump into the loadout, if you could drop a like on this one, let's try and get this video to 6 likes, and I'll have another top 5 video out this week for you guys, discussing the best loadouts in the game, I think at the moment for Season 1. Also, make sure you click that subscribe button if you are new around here. The support has been incredible recently. I think one of my videos has even gone past 500 views. It's been a little while since anything have done that, so that is very, very exciting. So starting us off with our perk setup here, I do typically run EOD in the first slot to help me survive those explosives. People are still rocking loads of claymores and the bouncy Betty type 1, so EOD is still very useful to help keep you alive if you're running into the loads of those. EOD is also super strong generally in the quick play playlist due to the objective game modes where people just chuck grenade after grenade at the point. My second perk is a toss-up between Kill Chain and Ghost. If you're more confident in your ability to get 5 kills without dying, you're probably better off with the Kill Chain to help you get those larger kill streaks. Like, I usually run the Cruise Missile, VTOL, and the White Phosphorus, or the Chopper Gunner, or the Support Helo. Each of these streaks will help get you to your next one, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you get lucky and grab a cheeky little triple kill with your Cruise Missile and have a VTOL straight away off that. White Phosphorus is particularly good on Ground War and Shoot House because you can pretty much take over all of the points at the same time. And the Chopper Gunner and Support Helo are always very strong in these games. You can of course run Ghost if you are running into a bunch of different UAVs, and it'll help keep you off the radar, which is always useful. And of course the third perk in this game is Battle Hardened for me because you don't want to be stunned for 10 seconds in this game. It's really simple. You can of course run Tune Up as well, which reduces the time of the field upgrades by 33%. So if you're trying to run the Dead Silence and the Ammo Box, which is what I typically use, your Tune Up will help you get those a lot faster. I have been running the Thermite recently, and it's quite useful for area denial and instantly killing riot shield nerds, but your lethal and tactical choices are of course up to you. That's always personal preference. I normally use the Stim Shot in the tactical slot because I love starting the health regen straight away rather than having to wait a few seconds. And your sidearm can of course be anything that you choose. I'm still using the Snake Shot 735. 357 rather, because even though it copped a nerf recently, it is still very strong up close. Right, so the attachments we want on the Ram 7, you're going to want the XRK Ranger barrel for that damage the range damage increase, the bullet velocity, and the recoil control. You might notice that this gun does have a fair bit of kick at the start, so you might struggle at first until you unlock some of the later attachments, but once you do, trust me, this gun is unreal. We choose this barrel because it gives us the most consistent damage at range and allows us to stay on target more effectively than the other two options, the Eclipse and the Compact Barrel. I don't really think the Compact Barrel is worth a look in, even at starting out. Like, the aim down sight speed is good and the movement speed are always good, but you lose that bullet velocity and the recoil control, which is already one of the weaker points of this gun. Like, the recoil control does get a bit out of hand sometimes, so making it worse is probably not a good idea. And yeah, the Eclipse Barrel is still effective. It does give you that damage range and bullet velocity, but I do feel like the XRK Ranger is slightly more effective in my opinion because it just gives you that recoil control, which the gun does struggle with, I said. Next you'll want what I'm starting to find at the moment is one of the more underrated attachments in this game, the TAC Laser, which gives you that aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walk steadiness. Of course it does give you that aim down sight movement speed, aiming stability. It does actually refer to your horizontal recoil control in this game, which I did learn fairly recently, which again is one of the bigger weaknesses with this gun. It does tend to bounce around side to side a fair bit. I mean, up and down's not too bad, but side to side's where it really does struggle a little bit. So these bonuses do help turn the Ram 7 into a bit of a laser. Like you'll still have a little bit of sideways movement, but you'll find more shots go where they're supposed to with this attachment. If you do keep getting killed because someone can see your laser, which is of course the only negative to this attachment, you'll find that you'll probably want to work on your crosshair placement on putting it on the edge of a doorway where the enemy is about to come from and then trying to hit the shot. It'll take a little bit of practice, but you completely remove the negative from this attachment. You'll of course, like every gun in this game, want to run the Stipple grip tape. One problem I do have with this gun is that it can feel a little slow to bring up after sprinting. So that sprint to fire speed is a little bit slow, and it does feel quite clunky when you're sprinting around. You pull up on someone immediately, they will usually kill you first. So with that Stipple grip tape, you get that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. You do lose a little bit of aiming stability, which is kind of a bit annoying, but still. The sprint to fire speed is much more important than getting those sights up and getting the bullets down range is much more important than getting them on target and avoiding the horizontal recoil and stuff like that at close range. You won't really notice it too much, but you will notice a lack of sprint to fire speed. So use the Stipple grip tape. And these last two attachments feel a little bit weird putting them together on the same time and on the same gun. Usually I'd say extended mags or sleight of hand, but with the Ram 7 I feel like both is actually appropriate. With the higher than average fire rate, you'll sometimes find yourself reloading when you can't really afford to be. Like, I can count how many times I've been killed by just one more guy coming around the corner when I've got no ammo left. I'm like just completely drained, and I'll be like, yeah, this is fine to reload. Reload here, and another guy will come around the corner. Not good. 45 round mags does really help this out a lot, and you can be a little bit less accurate and still have a few bullets left to kill the next guy. Then, once you've used them all up, sleight of hand helps you get going again. The normal reload speed isn't slow by any means, and it's about 1.8 seconds for a tactical reload and about 2 seconds for a full reload or so, which again is not slow by any means, but I've still died probably one too many times to being out of ammo, so both of these attachments together is actually a great combination here. Right, so this is our full Ram 7 loadout here. I feel like this gun is already in the top 5 guns for me, in my opinion, in Modern Warfare at the moment. I just love how the super fast fire rate feels like you're just melting people. Like, this thing just shreds. You'll notice that you get a few more double kills and triple kills than you used to just through the fire rate alone. Like, you'll start sending bullets down range and apparently there'll be another guy standing behind them and you'll just kill them too. Like, you didn't even see them, but the bullets did. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this one and it did help you out, make sure you do leave a like and do subscribe if you are new around here. We're gaining subs all the time, but I still do see about 70% of the views are coming from people who aren't subscribed, so make sure you do click that subscribe button. It would very much help me out and it would also make my day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!